Welcome to Behind the Scenes.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes. I'm Goldee, your West Coast host. Got my sidekick, DJ Hart, Sweetport, Louisiana. This is a part 2 of our show on reparation. We critique our outlook and point of view of that so-called reparation. Also, a presentation was done on Bruce Beach, which is now known as Manhattan Beach. You know what I'm saying? Back in, I think it was 1912, we had ownership of that beach. And right now that beach is up for sale for, I think, $7.5 million. And it should come back to our people. So take it from there, DJ.
Man, I want to thank you for introducing that topic, man. Bruce Beach. Man, look, I've been to Manhattan Beach when I was young. I want to thank you for bringing that on out, because that is part of our glorious past, that we own some very crucial real estate in the past. All right, so we need to be looking at the situation of how it came out of our possession, and try, when we talk about criminal justice reform, we need reforms in such a way where it protects our investments too, our home investments and stuff like that, so we don't have to worry about gentrification or something like that. All right, so today we want to highlight HR 40, that if somebody's talking about study again, well, we need to remind them that $12 million have already spent of federal taxpayer money on reparations. They need to submit that report, make that report public, all right? And we also talked about racial wealth inequality is running rapid in the United States. We're going to show you a map on that, all right? Also, the geography of upward mobility in America. It's one of my favorite maps, all right? Because it lets us know the level of difficulties we face in certain communities, all right? Thanks to people who take statistics and data, like the U.S. Census and other organizations. The most important part of our show today that all these charts lead up to is the proposal for reparation in Evanston, a suburb of Chicago, Illinois. All right. When I critiqued it, I said, okay, they're talking about a different time frame from HR 40, and it doesn't cover a wide enough time period. And I say, well, reparations should be considered from 1619 to 2019. So that is my point of view from various disputes, and even if the Vice President Kamala Harris, want to narrow it down to 200 years, I said, well, we really need to expand it to 400 years, because if you come up with a proposal for reparations and it don't get to the people like Goldee and me, it is incomplete. Hey man, look, man, I can rock that to a beat, man. Yeah. Hey man, look. All I'm just saying, that is so funky. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't know what funk is. You know what I'm saying? That is so funky, man. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about reparations now. Yeah, and you'll put some funk up on reparation, man. Y'all, man, look here. Man, get them funk masters out. If you don't got them funk masters, you got DJ Hart. And look, if I don't have a band to get funky with, I'm telling you, I'm going to play all the parts, you know what I'm saying, and get funky with something like that, because, man, I'm telling you, if reparations don't get to me, then I got to make a comedy music piece. You know what I'm saying? rocking the beat to letting you know that, hey, I need to make some money off of reparations. You don't give me reparations, I'm gonna make some money off of talking about reparations. This is a business activity here, man. So we're trying to encourage people to be business minded by referring to our lovely and great past, all right, where we show that we have participated in America since the beginning, helped build this nation. And then when we became free, we bought very important pieces of real estate in America and went and tried to develop that. So we are people from a glorious past. And so I want to remind our citizens who don't really appreciate that, to pay attention, to let you know that we are from a great people. And as a people from a great people, then we can find better ways to handle our disputes, and we don't need to be ending it with a drive-by shooting. So this show is also dedicated to peace. It is dedicated to community service and awareness of economic activity, all right, and playing our part in our community. I'm asking the leadership to take your foot off our back. Please. That's a metaphor. You understand? That's a metaphor for all of these institutions, all right, that has held us down. All right. The foot is a metaphor. Okay. So we need to build these conceptions to break loose as free people and free thinking people and creative people. That's what we are doing here today. We're being free people, being creative, and contributing some valuable information to our community. And I want to thank you, Goldee, for pointing out something that I didn't know. I didn't know Manhattan Beach was Bruce Beach.
Yeah, well, that's what it is, and that's what happened. And we, so we need a beach. Yeah, a beach would be a magnificent thing for us to have and be able to go for recreation and stuff like that. It's our beach. As a matter of fact, that's our whole community. And if there's anything we can do to get that back, we need to get to work on it.
Yeah. And so, we're trying to develop an economic culture here in case reparations do come in. Say, take a percentage of that and invest into your community, man. We can only hope that some of these people will organize their business in such a way where you can buy stocks in these companies and take back some of the land and the assets that we had in the past, all right, through economic activity, that we can actually legally do today. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to find those choices. We're trying to find those opportunities, and we're trying to find the economic resources in order to fulfill our responsibility in participating in America. So we're going to move on with our show and get down to the real deal, which is the screen share segment.
2 minutes and 2 seconds. We'll be right back with you.
Thank you. Y'all hang around.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes.
Welcome back to Behind the Scenes. We're back from our break. I'm going into screen share right now. The topic is Bruce's Beach. That's a picture right there of Bruce's Beach, located on the coast southwest of Los Angeles in the city of Manhattan Beach. The name has been changed from Bruce's Beach to Manhattan Beach. Bruce's Beach enjoys year-round sunny weather and clear skies. It also has a resort, and it have all the different amenities and stuff. But this is the original statue of Bruce's Beach right here. Of course, it has been changed, since Bruce's Beach was manipulated out of the hands and control of a black man and woman. This is a picture right here of the husband and wife, the owners of Bruce Beach. So like I said, it's no longer Bruce's Beach, it's now Manhattan Beach. It exists in Los Angeles. And let's see, a young and ambitious married couple, Willa and Charles Bruce, purchased some of the land that makes up Bruce's Beach in 1912. They added 3 lots to the original land and soon set work establishing a resort that was open to all African Americans. Given that segregation practice had restricted most beaches' access for blacks in the city, the new resort was welcomed by many who had until then hardly had chance to experience the areas of coastal beauty and the naturalness of nature. That's why I feel like, if we having a beach of our own is so important because, that actually give us a chance, to go, out to and enjoy, the natural nature, of life, at a beach or a resort and whatever else they got going there for recreation purposes. Now, and the land around the resort was bought by a wealthy land developer named George H. Heck, also in 1912. So, being a bit of a maverick for the times, Heck did away with the common practices of racial segregation by offering up the plots for purchase to African Americans. It was he who also funded Peck's Pier, which was originally the only local pier accessible by African Americans at that time. Thanks to his actions, black families were able to buy properties near the Bruce's Beach Resort and build their own summer homes. So we do have homes over there in that area, that black people was able to buy. At least we was able to hold on to some property, house-wise. This helped the area to grow into an important fixture of Manhattan Beach black community. So, after that, it changed to Manhattan Beach's black community. But I don't recognize Manhattan Beach as, being our black community, because right now it's a mixture of all kind of people, and it's basically the homeowners there are, the boozy class of people. And anyway, so the development of the resort in that area was brave undertaking, one that was not met without disapproval. Those who wish to uphold the racial segregation practice that formerly kept the blacks away from the beach severely harassed Bruce's resort visitors and black homeowners. So I imagine tension grew so high in the 1920s that the resort and surrounding homes were eventually condemned and closed by the city. Now check this out. The NAACP organized a swim in 1927. And after being arrested for swimming in the waters of Manhattan Beach, the members fought the charges. Their case was won, resulting in the overturn of the city's condemnation and the decree that the beach would again be open to the public without restriction. 80 years later, in 2007, the park was renamed to reflect its inspiring origin and the family who did so much to bring change and equality to the city.
Man, that's something else, man. See that? See that right there shows you that the city government, in some kind of way, was complicit with gentrification, man. You know, when you read that, you say, okay, what is gentrification, right? What is that? All right, that's like when a black neighborhood was black and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, all right, it gets
The
gentrified.
reason was they condemned it. They condemned the homes. They condemned the beaches. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
I'm
saying? That
just
was
saying,
their game. That was
was
their
it
tactic.
was it a
The tactic that
legitimate?
they used in order to, you know what I'm saying, get all the black people out of there and for them to take over and take control. And you know what I'm saying? And now it is what it is. It's now Manhattan Beach.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. This is the reason why we need reparation. And see the time frame. All right, now HR 40 don't cover that time period. You don't go up to 1920. That's why I'm saying if you're going to look at reparation, you got to look at slavery plus Jim Crow and all the segregational policies that came down, including with such events as this that may be considered gentrification. All right, because we don't know
Everything that
whether,
we
wait a
dealing
minute,
with,
can I make this point? We know what they did, but we don't know if them houses was really in that type of condition where it should have been condemned. There could have been good houses that
man, there's
they
no could
condemned.
have been good houses. Those was good houses. What are you talking about? People all actually lived there and owned them houses. Just like Bruce's Beach, you know what I'm saying? It actually existed. They actually owned that. They condemned that whole community to get the black people out of there. It specifically expressed that right there. And this beach now called Manhattan Beach is located on Highland Avenue and it's between 26th Street and 27th Street, and it's in the area they call West Manhattan. I have never actually attended that beach, but I have passed by that beach so many times. The reason I
Well,
never took time to attend that beach is because of the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? And it being on the level it is now.
Behind the scenes.
struggling in the way that I could to form a business. And I don't know about you, but that's the most exciting activity in America for me. You know, that's what I love. You know, this is the reason why we got this show because I love commercial business activity. Even though this is not a commercial activity, this is a volunteer service, but an example of what could be happening if we was getting real money for our production. You know, so but reparation can help make it a profitable business. So that's why I'm bringing it up, and I want to go into the statistics, and I want to thank you, Goldee, for bringing up Bruce's Beach, man. I've been to Manhattan Beach, all right, but I didn't know that black folks owned it.
Right. We need our beach back, so we need to do whatever it's going to take, you know what I'm saying, to get back our ownership. And as simple as that, as far as I'm concerned, you know what I'm saying, that help the whole community belong to us, and that would be a perfect part of reparation. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that we get our community back. That's our community. So we could go ahead on and move on to the reparation uh, project and part of the show. And what we doing on time? How's the time look?
Oh man, well look, hey, the beep didn't go off. We went way over.
Okay.
But anyway, you know, that's what happened, man. When we analyze, see, we're not just sitting up here quoting history. We're analyzing, we are internalizing it. And as we internalizing it, we're trying to show you this is what you need to do with history. You need to
Yeah.
analyze it, internalize it, and hopefully you can make a profit off of this, you know, in some kind of way, bring that knowledge, you know, of economics from history, what we done lost, what we can get back, and all of that stuff like that, and how to defend our investments, all right, in the future. You know,
America is our home. So,
yeah.
and so, and that's the whole thing, what I'm saying, we do these presentations, because we definitely need to know that, what I'm saying, our earlier positions with our ancestors, what I'm saying, we need to know that they was established people. We need to know that, what I'm saying, they was business owners and land and property owners. And we need to know that, what I'm saying, this everything was just taken from us, forcibly, destructively taken from us. So we're not talking about nothing, saying that we want no handout or anything like that. We're talking about a debt, so I'm saying, and we're talking about what we deserve, so I'm saying, and that's because, our blood, sweat, and tears went into, that development, having that, what I'm saying. So yeah, but we're gonna move on to our reparation and give us 2 minutes and 2 seconds, and we'll be right back with you. All right.
All right. Be right back. Y'all hang in. Wait.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes.
Okay, we back with behind the scenes. We're fixing to move on to reparation, and so let's proceed.
Well, I want to address the topic that I keep on hearing people refer to, which is to study reparations. And I say on the federal level, the taxpayers have already appropriated $12 million to the appropriation of H.R. 40. All right. This is the amount of money that we done already spent on reparation. All right, now let me go to the top of the page so you can see that I'm talking about the 16th Congress, first session, H.R. 40. All right, so Biden was in office when this thing was proposed. All right, so if he act like he don't know what H.R. 40 is, then oh man, I don't want to really think about what do that mean. So, but what I want to say is that we should not allow people to continue to talk about studying reparations. Okay, now let's go to the other part.
Well, before you move on to that, I think you should read that section what they speaking of to address the fundamental injustice. You should read that right there because this is what HR 40 is covering from their perspective.
Yes. All right. This is to address the fundamental injustice, cruelty, brutality, and inhumanity of slavery in the United States and the 13 colonies between 1619 and 1865, and to establish a commission to study and consider the national apology and proposal for reparation for institutions of slavery. In this subsequent deed, that's some legal terminology, so I'm going to skip over that. All right. Racial and economic discrimination against African Americans. All right. And the impact of these forces on living African American, to make recommendations to the Congress on the appropriate remedy and for other proposals. All right. So again, I would just want to highlight the time frame that they're talking about, and that's good and fine, all right, because that's covering specifically slavery, right? But our problem is not specifically slavery. It is all of the things that happened after slavery, such as all these segregational policies, Jim Crow,
Sure.
and all of these other issues that we face since we've been in America as African Americans in America, you know, and I say that time frame need to be extended from 1619 to 2019. All right.
Well,
Now,
before you get any deeper, I want to deal with de jure and the de facto. De facto means a state of affairs that is true in fact, but that is not officially sanctioned. And de jure means a state of affair that is in accordance with the law. That is the officially sanctioned. So,
thank you. Thank you.
yeah.
I appreciate that. All right, here's the United States. You know, I want to show the United States. All right, now you over here in California. Here I am in Louisiana, and Illinois is right here. We see Chicago, and Evanston is just north of Chicago by the description of what they was talking about in the story. All right, so let me go to the next screen share that I want to find. And hang on just a second. All right, I gotta get it where I can get to it. All right, now the reason why I'm concerned about these various economic things, and I wanted to really show you where we at now. Okay, I now up here near Chicago, I see a big red mark. Now, what that big red mark means, right? And that might even include Evanston. This red mark where I'm pointing to right here, that might include that area. But anyway, it's yellow and orange. And that's saying, well, right there in that area until they get on up a little bit more, then they get to the green, right? But here it is, a section, and that section looks like it's very close to Chicago. All right. We just took a peek at that other map, so you got to kind of remember that. And it says right here, this is the geography of upward mobility in America. This is the kind of chart that I want to look at, because here I am on the bottom, and I'm thinking about establishing a business in media, dealing with film and music, right? So I'm trying to move from the bottom to the top. Okay, so this is my favorite heat map that I need to be interested in, because it shows me the difficulties. Because right here it says the difficulty of upward mobility in my area and the area near Chicago is in between 4.8% to 6.1%, right? So that means that here it is, I'm in an area of the United States where all data leads to the fact that coming from the bottom to the top in this area is very difficult. And in this conversation, before I move to the final one, and I'm just saying, while we're studying our history and trying to communicate our history to you and show you the achievements of Black people, we have some Black people out there that's not with it, and they out there doing drive-bys and shoot them up. And I want to take a moment to say, brothers and sisters, before you do something like that, think about it very carefully, because somebody's going to lose their life, and you're most likely going to get caught, and you're going to lose your freedom. So I'm saying we need you on this side of the penitentiary. We need you on this side of life. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. You know, I'm not the police. I can't make you stop shooting. You know, so, but I can ask you, just like I'm asking the government to be considerate of your citizens that you are governing. All right, now let's move on to the final segment, because this segment is the most important segment of our show, to show you that a Chicago suburb becomes the first to give Black residents reparations. Now, I was trying to find some film on that, but I think the film is a commercial, so we don't want to play that. But we want to discuss this. Now here it is. They're talking about the Evanston situation, all right, and they are taking an excerpt. This is Newsweek taking an excerpt from Kamala Harris, all right, and it's very short. So I just want to let me enlarge it and play it, and then I'll give you my opinion.
Well, look, I think that we have got to address that. Again, it's back to being fair, true. Look, America has the history of 200 years of slavery.
Look at, she had already flipped the script, 200 years of slavery.
Legal segregation in America. We've got to recognize back to that earlier point. People aren't starting out on the same base in terms of their ability. And so we have got to recognize that and give people a lift up.
That's all I want to show of that. All right. Now, the reason why I want y'all to see this is now this topic is being discussed, by our vice president without commitment. All right. So you can highlight the atrocities. All right. But if you do not come up with a program that gets to me and Goldee, it's incomplete. Hey man, look, I can write a song on that. I could drop a beat to that. Huh?
Well, anyway, you can already see that it's fake because Kamala already talking about 200 years. So who is she to think she can sit up here and deduct 200 years? You know what I'm saying? It's 400 years. You know what I'm saying? Why is she saying 200 years? So that tells you right there, you know what I'm saying, there's already some trickeration going down in this so-called reparation ordeal that they so-called. And once again, this proves that the statistics that we're showing is dealing with the middle class and upper class of people and not the lower class of people, because right here, this reparation is dealing with, once again, middle class and better, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and let me point out this thing, because this should register with every local and state politician in the state of Louisiana. This should register. Why should it register? Because it's showing you the power of 3-cent tax on marijuana. So first of all, I think, they need to stop talking and stop arresting Black folks for marijuana in the state of Louisiana and branch it out from the university that has created some type of a monopoly here, all right, when it comes to legal marijuana, all right, they should open it up to the public, let them form retail outlets of that, make sure that some Black people can qualify as authorized marijuana salespeople. Why? So all that income will not be generated and given to only white business owners. Well, all I'm gonna say is that, there's a pro and a con on this, right? The biggest con I got is that they should not be calling this thing reparation. they should be calling it stimulus. And
That's
this
all it is.
stimulus is given for the exact reason
That's the
that they have
trick.
pointed out. All right, it is a stimulus to help offset the losses of those people in that community, right? So it is a stimulus for them, but it is not reparation, because reparation truly needs to. I'm disagreeing with our vice president. First off, all right, I'm saying reparations should cover from 1619 to 2019 and have that 400-year bracket there, so you can really see that, you know, the real power distribution from colonization, all right, and colonialism. It's going all the way back to that, man. You know, so
Yeah.
you know, so this is what I'm just trying to say. And it's not black people in America that's suffering, man. I need to say that to people in the public, because when they put down slavery, it was a global movement way back then. All right. So here it is. If we're thinking too local and not thinking worldly, you understand, enough to think about the whole world, all right, hey, we can't see the big picture. You're going to have to look at the big picture to see the big picture. You got to look, yes, at yourself. You got to take care of yourself. That's important. But then, as soon as you do that, you need to look at the rest of the community, because if we don't begin to look at the rest of the community, I'm telling you what's happening, and it's going down today. These people are going crazy, man, shooting each other for basically no reason, man. And it's going to be like that. It ain't a black thing. We just seen what happened in the White House. There were white folks out there. All right,
we got Chicago is the murder capital. You understand what I'm saying? And here they come with a so-called reparation. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if it was some true and real reparations going on, I don't think it would be the murder capital.
Well, that's what I'm just saying, man. We need, if they continue to talk to only the leadership, only these professors in universities, and not the people, all right? If they can't hear from the people, they will miss it every time. I mean, you got to deal with the people, man. And who's the people? I'm the people.
Right.
It's about money and Black Lives Matter, man. I mean, you know, for some people, money don't mean nothing. They ain't gonna change nothing, man. You can hand you $50 million and your community will never change. All right. But in the right hands of someone who intends to go into business, that intent is stated at some time in timeline. All right. It's a timeline from that statement to actuality. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody all of a sudden be in business. No, you prepare, you plan, you train, and you invest. All right. All these things take time. All right. Then even after that, then you might have to build from the ground up. There's businesses being built from the ground up. I saw it today. It's going on in Shreveport. But man, I'm telling you, it ain't poor people who's doing that. So this is what I'm trying to say. It's a whole population that's missing out on what the opportunities America got.
It's a whole population that's been missing out.
Yeah, all right. And so, like, and you know what? That just happened to be the majority.
That is the majority.
All right. The elite that rules us is the minority. They are the minority. We who voted them in or wished them well so they could win, we are the masses. All right. So here it is. If you can't pay attention to the masses or the people inside of them, the masses, you're going to come up with all kinds of things. They're going to sound so beautiful. They're going to sound politically correct. And it's going to sound like a dream come true. But next year or 5 years later, you find out the people are in the same spot. So you guys should come up with new ideas from new people, man. And even though I'm not a baby, all right, I'm still new on the scene when it comes to this conversation, all right? And you need to hear from us, me, DJ Hart, and Goldee, so you will know that is somebody out here that's intending on doing some level of business activity, and all we just trying to say is that people can find their favorite thing and do their own fair share with their business.
Sound like a plan.
Well, we're gonna move to our final segment and wrap up this show. We went long, but man, this hey, look, 400 years of slavery is extremely difficult to summarize in a 1-hour show. And I want to thank you for watching us all this time. And y'all keep on coming back. Hit that like button. Please subscribe and share this video with a friend, because this is news to us, man. Hey, look, I've been to Manhattan Beach, but I didn't know it was at one time black owned. So that goes to show you that education is continuous. So share this video. We'll be right back.
2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Welcome to Behind the Scenes.
All right, we rolling.
Welcome back to Behind the Scenes. This is the ending of the show. Thank all participants, all people who took the time out to watch. Hope that you gather some information. And I want to give a shout out to my family in Detroit, family in San Antonio, Texas, family here in Los Angeles. Shout out to all political prisoners, Sasha Banks. That's our show. So, go ahead on, DJ, and bring it to a close.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching. I'm telling you, you are so important. And your comments, let me say this, that you shape our show today from your comments and your interests, the things that you are interested in. This is what this show is all about. However, today we have critiqued it, all right, and and offered certain criticism, but this is what you need to do sometime when you analyze an economic situation. You need to internalize it and interpret it and find out who are the winners and the losers, all right? Because this is a very commercial country. It's built on commercial activity. And I want to thank all of my fans on Number One Music for writing me and telling me about the music and the music that's coming off of this album, Money and Black Lives Matter. Cut number 4. On my way. I'm telling you, this song is really touching the hearts of people, right? And I guess because, I'm trying to do a little something to promote the song, and it's working, and people are browsing and finding this song, and it's catching them, and they're hanging on to it, and they're putting it into their playlist. And I love that. I love making music, and I love the people who play my music. You can play it anywhere you want to play it. Play it in your home, in your car, in your club, all right, on the radio, on the internet, wherever you want to play it. So please do. I ain't got nothing to say other than to the billion-dollar corporations out there that's saying that I would love to get 3 cents versus a fraction of a cent. I'm going to bring that up because, hey, look, to get that music on the way to you quicker is when you buy a download, then that helps fund the activity. All right. So, because, music costs, man. There's a bunch of costs in there, so That's how we cover our costs. That's how we balance the budget through actual sale of music and other merchandise. Thank you for all of your support. It's about money in Black Lives Matter. And for those people out there that haven't figured out any kind of way to settle your disputes besides gun activity, I'm saying to you that I can't make you stop. All right. But I can't ask you to stop. Please stop the violence. Find a different way to handle your problems, and always do diligence in your investments, you know, in your investment activities, so you don't have a dispute later. You know, do good business, and that way you will probably build in the history of yourself and the people around you of a method of survival, which is doing good business. All right, where even when there's a dispute, you're not going to pull out guns and shoot each other. Just recently, I just heard of two brothers having a dispute. All right, and they both pulled out guns. They both died. No winners. All right. So this is what I'm trying to say to you. Save your life and keep your freedom. All right. And that means that you must conduct yourself differently in order to settle your dispute. All right. So this is what I want to say, and I want to thank you for all of your likes and your comments. Please subscribe. Y'all come back now and stop the violence, drive safely, and that's a wrap on our show tonight, man. What you want to say before we go, Goldee?
Art of music, money, and Black Lives Matter. Make sure you subscribe, like, and you know what I'm saying? Have a good night.
Thank you, and good night.